Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Dr. Gyesie, transformational coach here at Inner Mileage, where we help folks optimize, transform, and heal their lives to their best possible resonant life right here, right now. Today we're going to be talking about the hell realm of narcissistic abuse, where the battle for the mind and the ultimate destiny of the empath takes place, the hell realm. So the question is, have you ever felt trapped in an endless loop of pain, despair, and confusion, wondering why you can't break grip from the trap and tentacles of the narcissist or narcissistic abuse? You might even feel like you're living in a personal hell, because it is. If this resonates with you, you're not alone. And what if I told you that this experience is not just psychological, but largely spiritual, biological, and even quantum in nature? What if this darkness is the very forge where your transformation is meant to occur? Today we're diving deep into this topic, why empaths often find themselves stuck in the hell realm of narcissistic abuse, a battle for the mind and spirit. We'll explore why this happens, how it happens, and how it's connected to your higher purpose as an empath. So let's start by understanding the relationship between empaths and narcissists. On the surface, the connection may seem like a cruel accident, but in truth, it is a cosmic design, a karmic dance that serves a higher purpose. Specifically, if we look at the work of Joseph Campbell, talking about the hero's journey, empaths are often the reluctant heroes of their own story. Like all great myths, the hero's journey begins with a descent into darkness, and the narcissist plays the role of a shadow figure, forcing the empath to confront their deepest wounds and fears. Now, when you also bring in ancestral trauma and karmic cycles, many empaths are born into families where trauma is generational, whatever the type of trauma it is, and these patterns repeat until someone, the scapegoat of the empath, chooses and has the courage to break the cycle. And then why this happens, if you look at it from a historical and cultural perspective, throughout history, figures like Siddhartha Gautama, who became the Buddha, and Rumi have undergone personal, profound suffering before they awakened. And the same principle applies to empaths. So let's explore the role of the narcissist and why all of this happens. Narcissists act as mirrors and catalysts. They reflect the part of ourselves we've disowned, our shadow, the dark side, and they force us to reclaim our power. But how do they accomplish this? When you think about the neuroscience of manipulation, narcissists exploit the brain's reward system, creating trauma bonds through a cocktail of oxytocin, dopamine, and cortisol. It's what happens, the highs and lows. The highs, dopamine, and it drops, you got the cortisol. And this is how you start to feel good and bad, yearning for good again, and it creates this addictive cycle. If you think about historical figures like Nelson Mandela, who I greatly admire, and I've had the opportunity to visit his old cell on Robben Island, this is a man who endured tremendous opposition and hate, yet emerged as a force of transformation. So empaths' lives often mirror patterns in nature, like the spiral of the Fibonacci sequence. Growth is not linear, it's cyclical. And each return to pain offers a chance to ascend higher. So how does this happen? Narcissistic abuse is not just an attack on your emotions, it's an assault on your very perception of reality. It happens through psychological warfare, which includes gaslighting, future faking, and cognitive dissonance, which are all tools the narcissist uses to distort your reality. That's the way they cast their spells, through the lies and manipulation. Then when you think about the neuroscience of trauma bonding, your brain becomes stuck in a loop as the fear center, the amygdala, and prefrontal cortex, the rational thinking side, battle for control. See, there's a psychosis that happens. Then when you think about it from a quantum physics standpoint, the observer effect shows how perception shapes reality. In other words, Narcissists manipulate this principle to impose their vision of reality on you. So we've said all this, and it's important to understand what the hell realm is. In many cosmologies, let's use the Buddhist one, for example. Hell realms are states of mind, or the hell realms are states of mind. Empaths are trapped in this realm, experience cycles of shame, guilt, and self-doubt, perpetuated by narcissistic abuse. So hell is in the mind. The suffering happens here. Therefore, the battle is for the mind. We also know that from a biological standpoint, abuse rewires the brain. Trauma studies show that chronic stress alters the amygdala, the hippocampus, and the prefrontal cortex, and different parts of your brain responsible for different things. So trauma really messes with what's happening in here. And epigenetically, trauma isn't just psychological, it's passed through your DNA. That's what epigenetics is. Now further, we know that sacred geometry reveals how fragmented the empath's sense of self becomes under abuse. And reassembling these pieces is the empath's ultimate task. So why was this destined to happen? Well, the first reason is because of the empath's higher calling. This journey was destined, and empaths are light workers born to transmute pain into healing. Then there is karma and dharma, meaning that abuse is a spiritual contract agreed upon before birth to awaken the empath to the higher purpose. And many historical figures went through great suffering before coming out on the other side. In the quantum field, the empath's journey is one of infinite possibilities, and narcissistic abuse forces the empath to choose the high-frequency path, the path for your higher good. And the empath's journey is one of a dance between light and shadow. That's exactly what it is. So what does all this mean for the empath? What's the path out of the hell realm? And how does the empath transcend from this into other places? Well, healing the mind is really key. And any kind of intervention, coaching, therapy that can help reframe thoughts and help an empath achieve neuroplasticity is in the right direction. So working with certainly a certified coach like myself, finding out what your limited self-beliefs are, or licensed mental health practitioners like counselors and psychologists and therapists can be very helpful. Healing the spirit is really key. I know I benefited significantly from meditation, specifically, silence, breath work, energy healing. And ultimately, when you think about Plato's allegory of the cave, it illustrates the empath's journey perfectly. By escaping the shadows, you can help others find their way out. So that is the ultimate gift of the empath to the world, which is emerging from this journey, the return, as Joseph Campbell will call it, with heightened compassion and resilience and discernment, ready to heal others, not because you're better, but because you're positioned to, because of all the tests you've been through. So let's look at some comparative evidence of this abuse. We know that abuse mirrors systems of oppression throughout history, yet history also shows that freedom is possible. We know that neuroplasticity, from a neuroscience perspective, shows us healing is possible. We know that the vagus nerve in biology plays a crucial role in trauma recovery. And we know that from a quantum perspective, parallel universes suggest that shifting your timeline, or your reality, let's call it, is a matter of intention. So patterns in nature and ancient texts reveal that pain and healing are part of the same cycle. So to wrap up here, the hell realm, although may feel insurmountable, is temporary. It is the forge where your higher self is born. If this resonates with you, like, share, subscribe, and send this video to anyone who might benefit from it. If I can be of help, type transform in the comment section or visit our website to check out our courses on narcissistic abuse and trauma at innermanage.com. And remember, there's absolutely no one like you. Sending you peace and light.